It's been a very long time, but I am now back to do my predictions video, the next predictions video. You'll have to excuse me, it's going to be snappy because I haven't got a lot of time. And it's also a case of me, when I'm looking down, I'm not looking down at my pants or anything like that. I'm looking down at the fact I've now got a laptop, you see, and my laptop's on my lap, balanced precariously on its box. And I'm not used to using a laptop at all. So if I go quiet for a moment and I'm staring downwards, it's because I'm trying to figure out how to move stuff around, and the problem is that the screen, if you have the screen at the wrong angle, you can't see anything. It's a nightmare. Right, so we start with Dustin Poirier and Joe Duffy. This is it's abroad, this one. This fight card is going on in Ireland. Joe Duffy, 13-1, is going to be the home crowd's favourite. Without looking up on line, I don't know who that one is that he has lost to, but I very much doubt that it will be of the calibre of Dustin Poirier, who he is fighting against. Nice to see Dustin Poirier at the top of the card, where he belongs, in my opinion. He is ranked 13th according to this. Surprised it's not higher than that, but there we are. 18-4 is his record, and needless to say, I think that he will be able to win that one by the looks of it, regardless of where it goes. It does in fact say that Joe Duffy is 57% submission to Dustin Poirier's 33, but I'm not worried about that too much, to be fair. The next one, Paddy Holohan and Lewis Smolka. 12-1 for the Irish man, and 9-1 for the American. Don't know much about either of these. Paddy doesn't ring a bell at all. Whereas Lewis Smolka does. It's supposed to be groundsman versus striker, this, but Lewis is so close on his percentages. It's only Paddy that's like 8% on the feet, 67% on the ground. So it's no prizes for guessing where he's going to try and take it. I think that one will be a decision victory, not too sure who's going to win. Because Lewis Smolka is the only one I know out of them, I'll go for him. Norman Park and Reza Medadi. The Iranian is 13-3, huge on the ground, but then so is Norman Park. 21-4, his record. This is going to be a ground war. I think Reza Medadi is probably more likely to win that, to be fair. Darren Till is fighting Nicholas Dalby. He's from Denmark with a perfect record of 14. Darren Till apparently from England, not one I've ever heard of. But there we are. Perfect record of 13. It's going to be one on their feet. This 69% to Darren that way, according to this. I'll go for Darren Till on that. Into the undercard, Stevie Ray is fighting Mikhail Lebout. Probably Lebeau, because it says he's from France, but there we are. 18-5 from Scotland, Stevie Ray, and 14-4 from France. Striker versus groundsman, this, with Stevie Ray on the feet. Don't know. Don't know that one, don't know them at all. Probably Stevie Ray, but there we are. Perhaps I'm just saying that because he's British. Well, he's Scottish. Neil Seary and John Dallas Reyes. 15 and 11 is Neil. He's the home crowd favourite here from Ireland. John is from Guam and his record is 8 and 4. This could be a home crowd win. I'm hoping that there's going to be one. So I shall hope that Neil Seary wins that one. Women's bout on the card, we've got Erica Almeida, who is unseeded, 7 and 1 from Brazil, and Aisling Daly, seeded 15th. She is from Ireland, 15 and 5. So I'll go for her. Scott Askham and Krzysztof Jotko. This is England versus Poland, and they've got very similar records. 13 and 1 for Scott, 15 and 1 for Krzysztof. Now, that's interesting. Krzysztof Jotko is decision king with 60%, whereas Scott Askham is going to try and stop it going to decision by knockout. 62% is stand-up for him. I've heard of both of these before, but without, detailed research, which I just haven't got time for, and on a card that's not as important as some, I shall go for Scott Askham on that. Cathal Pendred and Tom Breeze. Cathal is from Ireland, 17 and 4, whereas Tom Breeze has a perfect record of 8. I feel like I have heard of him, but looking at his photo, I'm wondering if I've got him confused with somebody else. Anyway, this is striker versus groundsman with Tom Breeze on the ground. It probably, I wouldn't be surprised if Cathal Pendred won this, but by decision. That might be doing Tom Breeze a big disservice, but there we are. Darren Elkins and Rob Whitefoot. Bit sad to see Darren Elkins so far down the card, but there we are. Seeded 14, him. 19 and 5 is his record against 12 and 2. Rob Whitefoot from Scotland. It's going to be a war on their feet, and one that probably ends in decision. And I'll go for Darren Elkins there. And the very bottom of the card, Bubba Bush and Gareth McLellan, actually. And he's not Celtic at all. South Africa, according to this. 8 and 3 and 11 and 3. And this is groundsman versus striker. We have 82% for Gareth on the ground, 50% for Bubba Bush on the feet. Who do I think will win? Well, I don't know. I thought Bubba Bush was a type of was a type of bubble gum, but there we are. And Gareth, I've never heard of him either. I don't know. It's interesting to know that Gareth has never seen decision according to this. I don't know. I shall abstain on that one because I simply don't know.